Because I only ever select I did meeting. And now I got meeting. Saying we should reconvene by 4 o'clock.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Hello, sir. That's boss. Start arguing now. Bring no vex. I just needed access to that smash. I don't have access to it.
Guys, so
I got yes, I
I'll
got that was what I
teach
later
I'll teach you real fast. I won't waste time.
I
I
did, I
wouldn't,
did, I
since we're
did.
not plenty, I wouldn't really take time to explain too much. If anybody has questions, they check the video
Right now,
and they can message
you
me
can now use
just
the one I was
after. I
using.
want to ask, Temita, can you hear me clearly, like very clearly?
No,
Yes,
no.
I did now.
And you have like background
I did.
sounds. Yes, that's very.
Temita, I didn't hear anything you said.
I said you have like background sound. Can you hear me?
You're talking, I can see you're talking. It's not just I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Type. Sorry, do you mind typing? Alright, alright. Since you can hear me, let's just move on. So for today, yeah, we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of UI UX regardless. And this week's content is a bit different from last week's, but we have to complete last week's on Monday, and we're going to try to finish this week's content today. And if we don't finish, maybe we'll just reach out for in an hour time, sha. Wherever we reach, we'll continue from there next week. So we're going to be talking about the importance of user research in UX design. Give me a moment. Sorry, hotspot. Please, Kaki. I'm trying to figure out what's wrong in my mic that I cannot hear you guys. Sorry, please, can you pass my phone? My phone. Hmm? No, go ask him. Go ask him my man. Can you guys hear me now? I'm very sorry, my connection just went off. But I'm sure you should be able to hear me now. Hopefully. Maybe because
Yes, 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 I
I still
can.
can't hear you, Timitayo. Or maybe I should go off. I should go off the call and I should join again. I don't know. Give me a second. Can you guys hear me now? Still, I can't hear you. Oh my god, I'm having issues with this thing now. I don't know what to do at this point. Okay, you know what? I'm going to teach you like that. Yeah, so please just manage your me because I don't know for some reason. For some reason, I can't hear you guys. But please manage your me. I'll teach like that regardless.
Can
So for
you
today's
hear?
class, we're going to be looking at the importance of UI UX. Basically, it's based around the importance of UI UX, but then we're going to be exploring other parts of UI UX, such as the qualitative and quantitative user research methods, the creating user personas and empathy maps, and analyzing user behaviors and needs. So, I'm trying my best to make it a fast class. A lot of things I'm going to say, you're not going to be familiar with. I want to be quite frank and honest with you because they are new concepts, and if you do not go to like research on them and you actually do them, you wouldn't get them. But let's start from what we have and move our way up. So the importance of user research. I don't really think I need to emphasize it well enough. But the whole idea is it's important for you to research for the product you're trying to build. Because if you just build a product you didn't research for, that means you didn't even look for people that actually even need the product in the first place. Imagine building Child Deck in 2002 and thinking it will work out. It wouldn't work because people then were not interested in ordering food. They rather go home to cook. And it's possible that if it was available then they would have rolled with it. But then some particular type of things do not work in certain eras. A lot of things prosper in that era because the research just support that you build it in that era. Right now, you could have said that they would have built some kind of expensive, crazy amount of robots 10 years ago, but it won't be the same. Imagine AI was like built 10 years ago. The way we are using it now would not be the way they're using it then because the exposure to technology of our generation is far greater than that of our parents. And they probably won't have been able to use it. Well, I'm talking about Nigerians anyway, I'm not talking about Europeans or Americans. Um, Give me a second. Let me see because I have any message. Okay, Rebecca, the class hasn't gone far. I just started. We're still in the beginning. Um, I hope you get that. So, as I was saying, yeah. So, user research is very important. It's fundamental and crucial to your design process. Before you start designing, please do your research. Because we're all new to design here, I'm going to say this and I'm going to try to help us. How about you message me individually if you have the time and if you're going to do it? And I don't mind, I have the time. Try to figure out what you would want to build as a UI UX designer. After we finish this course, you could start, and you could start while we're on this course. It might be different if you do it when we're on the course and if you do it after, but it'll be very important that you do it regardless. You have to pick something up that you want to build, an idea that you want to build, be it a business managing platform, mobile or web, be it I've been using food delivery app since because it's the easiest thing for everybody to start with. Food delivery app. It could be a banking application, it could be a fintech application, it could be e-commerce application. Just pick a field and try to think about what problems there could be and do your research. Talk to people. What are the things that they're having this or that or this or that? Look for problems and try to build your own solution. So The most important thing about user research is that it is critical and crucial to your design process. It's the first thing you have to do in your design process. It involves gathering information, understanding the problems people have, the needs, and trying to get the solution. You have to understand where they are coming from, the pain points they have in using applications, their gain points, and how to make things better for them as a whole, because the people you are building for are your users. So the importance of user research. One would be user-centered design. When you do your research properly, your research will properly help you design, putting your user at the center. Everything you do will make sure that the user is the most important thing. It will let go of your own ego and let go of everything that you think should be the solution, but what the user solution should be. It helps you to identify their pain points, helps you to identify the things that um are problems that the users are having, and it helps you to identify them and solve them. It helps you to enhance usability because you've already looked for the problem of the users and you try to make a solution. It makes it so usable because you solve their problems and you do not put your own interest in the design. You put the users above yours. It helps you to build empathy because now you're putting yourself in the foot of the person that is going to use the application. You're directly relating to the feelings and emotion of that person, and you're trying to build something that would work for the person or the users in general, and most importantly the users. um that's about it with user research. These are the importance. The major thing I want you to take from is that if you do your user research properly and you're trying to design for the user, every single thing you're going to do for the user, yeah, what you're going to do, everything you're going to do is going to be for the user. The user will be at the center of it all. Every single thing would be about the user, and it will help you be able to empathize with them, relate to their problems, try to get solutions to their problems. It will make them the most important thing to you, Sha. It will make them the most important thing to you in your research, and that is very, very important. So now, for you to do your user research, now I feel I've been a bit muddled up in just telling you what user research is about, and I've never really told you how to do your user research. So there are multiple ways to do your user research, and there are multiple ways you get your information. There is this is not in my slide, but I want to just tell you guys there is primary and there is secondary information, secondary and primary research. Primary majorly means you go straight to the person. You go straight to the person. You try to get the information you need from the people you're trying to get your solutions for. You put them you make them the most important thing. Basically, that's what the primary is about. You make them the center of your research. You go and meet them one on one, or send out surveys, or you send out things for them to fill. You make sure you have direct contact with the users. Now, for secondary, it involves you using other means. Going to go and read up on somebody else's research, or going to go and read up on articles, or going to go and read up on something somebody wrote sometime based on somebody's problem or solutions to a particular set of problem. That is secondary research. You're not going directly to the person or the users. You're going to people, or you're going to documents or resources that have already been prepared, that have gone through the research already, and you're dragging insights from them. That is secondary research. Now there's another type of research, which is qualitative and quantitative user research. This is actually under primary research. People, the way people group it is so different because primary you have to actually go and meet people you're trying to design for. So qualitative and quantitative user research is basically centered under primary research. Now, I want to just give you the scope of everything because I want the class to be fast and not bore you guys out because too much information kills. Qualitative research is basically quality. You're after quality. You're not really after quantity. You're just going to meet a few large number of people, but it won't be as much as quantity. But you will meet them one on ones. You have direct interviews, and you all talk together. You'll be there. Look at the memogram on the right hand side. You can see people sitting around each other and discussing. That's how it's going to be. You're going to be having one on one interviews with people. You're going to be talking to focus groups of people. You're going to be together sharing insights, information, problems, solutions. That's what it's going to be about. So you're going to be getting quality information from these people, and that's what you're going to use. That's what you're going to use to build. That's what you're going to use for your research. That's qualitative. Why quantitative means, you're looking for quantity. You're not looking for quality. You're looking for a very large number of people. It can be thousands. It involves sending of surveys, telling them to fill forms. Um, Something in that line of work. You're going to be sending out forms for them to fill, surveys for them to fill, things that they will write on, or just basic information. It won't be too deep. You're not getting quality out of it, but you're getting quantity. You can even fill the form with every single question you will ask somebody if you meet one on one. But when somebody fills a form, you can't tell the user's needs from their intonation because they are typing it, and you cannot read the intonation because you're not with the person one on one. That's how surveys would be. So it's not going to be real quality, but it's going to be quantity. It will help you have statistics. They have their pros and they have their cons. Because you have large number of people that filled out your survey or your forms, you can now draw out some kind of crazy statistics like out of 1,000, like 500 people put the same idea down. Maybe they wanted this particular feature in a particular application, stuff like that. That's the whole idea of quantitative user research. Quality means just a focused group of people, while quantity is a very large number of people. They have their pros and they have their cons. So, qualitative and quantitative user research methods are two distinct approaches that provide different types of insights in the field of UX design. Here's an overview of both methods and some examples of their respective techniques. So now, for qualitative, as I said, quantity, you're going to be doing user interviews and focus groups. I already explained it. So you're going to be having one-on-one interviews with people and asking them for everything they feel, they say, how they see things and all that. And you can also have focus groups where you'll be a small group of people and you'll be sharing information, opinions, and insights. This is 1 and 2. And for quantitative, this involves numerical data, analyzing patterns and trends. You sending out surveys for many people to fill. They will fill it and use it to analyze, use it to get things you need, trends and all that. So I want to put out the floor there. Is there any question anybody would like to ask? Okay, so I cannot hear people, so I'd really appreciate if you could type in the chat box so that if you have any question, I can answer. Any question at all from anybody? If there is no question, somebody please type no questions. Okay, so Rebecca, do you understand everything I have said so far? All right, thank you very much. What about Oyikosola and Bello? Hope you guys understand everything I have said so far. All right, let's go on. Okay, so that's qualitative and quantitative user research. So now, how do you do quantitative? Surveys, analytics, and tracking. I already said that. You could go through the slides that I've prepared for you guys on the link I sent. Have better insight. You could read through it for better understanding. I created the resource so that people would have access to it. Um, there's something called A and B testing in quantitative user research. It involves for a product that you have prepared already, you can prepare a version of A and can prepare a version of B, and you let people test the both of them to pick which is better. Now, whichever one that you realize has better conversion rates and engagement, yeah, that's the one you're going to roll out for development. In quantitative or other type of research, you have user behavior analysis, you have usability testing. You don't need to like bore yourself with all these big ones right now. So you just have to start from the grassroots. You will get here. It's going to take time, but you're going to grow into it. Um, Both qualitative and quantitative research, they have their strengths and limitations. They can be used in combination, and they can be used on their own. Qualitative provides you more depth and context, while quantitative provides you more statistical rigor. And the choice between these methods depends on your research goals and the available resources. I hope you guys understand. So we're moving on to the second part of our course. If you have any questions, you can ask. As everybody said, they have no questions. Thank you very much. Um, so let's go on to the next part of the course, flow 5. So today we're also going to be discussing user research and persona creation. So for the other two sides of the course of this week's work that we haven't touched, it involves creating user personas and empathy maps and analyzing user behavior and needs. So a week ago, last week actually, I was saying something about user personas and empathy maps. Yeah, I knew it was going to be this week I was going to teach you. Yeah, but I wanted to like just give you an hint of some things that you would see as time comes on, and that includes user personas and empathy maps. Let's get into the class so that you would have a better understanding of what it is. Now, user personas and empathy maps are tools we use in UX design to help you understand and empathize with the target users. They facilitate the creation of user-centered designs. In fact, when you're talking about user-centered designs, these are the building blocks. You have been saying something about let it be user-centric, let it be all about the user. These are the building blocks. You've done your interview with people. You sat down to look at everybody you've done interview with, and you realize that everybody has a particular type of persona. Then you create a persona for somebody to be somebody's name, where the person is from, what the person is about, their goals, their aspirations, what they want to do, how they want to do it, and all that. That's how you create a user persona. And for the empathy mapping, you talk a lot about how they feel, how the person is behaving when you're even doing the interview, how the person is thinking, you know, and what the person does. You're just going to be monitoring and noting every single thing about the person. You're going to put it into your map. So this is how you get your building block for your user-centered designs. You study the people, you create a fictional persona of who you're trying to build for based on your research, and you just, after doing your interviews, you just by understanding would understand how the person feel, does, behave, and think. But let's get into user personas. Now, to create user personas, first and foremost, you have to gather data. Yeah. Now, as I said, you have to look at everybody you've interviewed or a large number of people you've interviewed, and you have to like draw insights from how they are, who they are, what they do, and everything. Now, let's say you're building a library application, like an application for people to, you know, open any book available in the school so that they could, read and have access, basically like a library application or a library resource. Yeah, you're going to do an interview. Your interview is going to be centered around university students. It wouldn't be it wouldn't be people outside, or you go to the target audience, people that you want to target, and you interview a large number of them. From your interviews and surveys that you take, whether quantitative or qualitative research that you do based on your resources that you have, you begin to look for common things and patterns in the data. That's how you get, that's how you drag things together to create your user persona. Now, you identify segments, number two, based on shared characteristics and behaviors of everybody that you interviewed. You can identify a segment of different people. Now, when you are designing, you don't need to create just one user persona. You can create multiple user personas. You can create personas for guys that want to check for engineering books. You can create personas for guys that want to check for law books. You can create personas for guys that want to check medicinal books. You can create multiple personas. And from these personas, you can draw the empathy maps of the people that you interviewed to be able to navigate into what you are trying to build for them. Um, you can create, now you create the personal profiles, you add the details, then you validate and you refine. To create the personal profiles, I want you to read through the document yourself and go through things on Google. I sent you a Google link to go through the Google UX course if you have the time. Everything I'm saying they are going to see. So if you want to be skipping, you can be skipping and you see important parts that you want to get information from. This course is something that could be as long as 7 months. But I'm teaching you a lot in 6 weeks. I can't teach you every single thing, but I know that you can learn a whole lot more when you do more research on your own. But I can put you on the path that you need to follow. Now, to create the personal profiles, yeah, we're going to include the photo, the background, the job role, their goals, their motivations, their behaviors. Then you add more details, then you validate and refine. Now, when I say validate and refine, I mean you're going to look at that persona that you just create and you're going to look through it deeply. And when you're creating it, you could be in a rush. You're not going to relax and just validate and refine it. You're going to look at everything you typed for the persona and you're going to look through it over and over and over based on the research that you've done for groups of people. You will refine the information for your user persona, and it will fit with your research. It will help you navigate what you're trying to build. For now, that is for um user persona. Now, this is an example of a user persona. So now, let's say I'm trying to create an educational application. I'm so sorry that I'm jumping from multiple ideas, but I'm trying to put it to you that you could work on multiple things. I know there'll be multiple ways to go about solving just one problem. You just have to think. The real ability of a UI UX designer isn't just the design, it's actually in the UX thinking. It's very important that you develop your UX thinking skills because that's the most important thing there. You could always learn to design, but UX thinking is not something that is just so easy to learn. Now, here we have a guy, Louis. Louis, what is Louis about? He's a remote worker in Lekki. He learned front end development in a disorganized manner and would love to have some structure. He signed up on an application but is having issues navigating the software and it's costly to apply for some courses. Now, I wanted to do something like this so that I would get to you guys, like, cause we're like the same people. Now, if you were to go and learn UI UX on your own without somebody giving you the navigation of what to do, you're gonna learn it in a very terrible manner. In the sense that if you go and use YouTube, you'll be learning from A to Z. Like if you learn from A to D to E, back to B, it will be so disorganized. But the thing is, at the end of the day, you will get where you're going to. It's just that you've not followed the right path. Now, this user persona can cover thousands of all of us just entering tech, in the sense that we all have terrible navigation. Some guys want to learn front end development, and for some reason, they will do HTML, just a little bit of CSS. They will not do media queries, and they will go on to JavaScript. Very scattered. By the time they are done with JavaScript, then they will now come back to media queries. They will now be basically their particular, everybody that wants to learn, they will tell you that you learn HTML first, then you learn CSS. In CSS, you learn queries, then you go on to JavaScript, just like that, like that. You keep going. When you learn JavaScript, you can learn React, like that. You just keep going. But for some people, they were very. Some people even start with React. I know some people that started with React. I know some people that just went to Flutter direct. Said they want to build mobile applications, and that's fine because Flutter is for building mobile applications. But for some people, they follow the route of going from HTML to CSS to JavaScript to React. Flutter and React are not related. I'm just using that example. Kiki, I hope you will not attack Misha. His goal was to become a world-renowned engineer that would have multiple certificates from credible sources and would love to work in Google one day. I'm sorry for the mistakes. I didn't even see them. Now, its frustration is that it is expensive to find structured courses to help you build, and the people with technology know-how don't want to share their knowledge appropriately, but only want to offer people beginner courses. Now, almost every single time is always a beginner course. Even what I'm teaching right now is the beginner course of UI UX. Now, this person's persona, which is a large number of university students, they want to learn it and they want to learn it properly. Like, the way you're going to school for 5 years to learn one thing. Students are ready to go for 2 years to learn just that UI UX alone, or front end, or back end, or full stack, or anything. They're ready to just go and just follow a proper path. The way you learn social studies to civic education, the way you learn maths, physics, chemistry to engineering, mathematics to university physics and chemistry, like that, they don't mind. People want to do that. But then we don't have an organized manner to learn tech. A lot of people are learning it on YouTube, a lot of people are learning it online. A lot of people are even using free code camp, just different ways. And a lot of people will use Google Coursera courses, to just learn. And a lot of people will love it to be something that they could learn like an academic resource. That's this user persona. A large number of people are based off this persona. That's the idea of building a persona. I hope you guys understand. I want you to ask questions on anything that I've said that you do not understand. Hello, guys. Rebecca, Blaze, Coin, Bello. Guys, do you have any question? If you don't, okay, sorry, Rebecca. Don't worry. This particular video is going to be uploaded. Actually, we're sending in. Okay, whatever you've not heard, you could just go through the recording. The class is being recorded and it's going to be uploaded to YouTube so that you could have access to it easily. I hope that's fine by you. The user persona, Coinsola, the user persona helps prevent okay, let me put it this way because I don't know how to finish that sentence. The user persona helps to guide your research and it helps to guide your building because now you've drawn insights from the amount of people that you've researched on here. So now from those people you've drawn a persona of a person you're trying to build a solution for. You can't build a solution for 1,800 people if it's 1,800 people that filled your survey. But from that 1,800 people that you go through, you can find groups of people that have the same problems. People will always have relatable problems. Like now, me, you, all of us here, our problem is the rising cost of living in Nigeria. I'm very sure. Last year, Pringles was maybe 800 or 1,000. Now, Pringles is 1,700. If somebody was to send out a survey, are we pleased with the price of Pringles? A lot of us will say no. That's the idea. So yes, Rebecca, I would share the link. I'll message Isel and I'll share the link to you after the class. So Coinsola. So that's the idea. So now you're bringing out a number of people that have similar problems and similar beliefs, and you're trying to make it into a person, a fictional person of your will, and you're trying to fit in the text and everything about the person's goals, and the person's frustrations. I want to show you a more comprehensive user persona. Yes, now I'm trying to use things that are relatable so that you can understand. So for a second one, let's say a second one. Now this is for Lashope. Now let's that laundry application. I'm using the persona of a laundry application now. He's a 21-year-old engineering student in Unilag. What are his goals? He wants to be able to balance photography career with being a high-flying student. Now, if you have a large number of student base that you interviewed, a number of them's goals will be they want to be able to balance work, making money, and education at the same time. If you're working right now and you're a student, you definitely want to find balance between the both. Now, what does he need? As per somebody that you're asking for, if they would require laundry assistant, and he says he doesn't want to work himself to death. He wants to maintain school-work balance and he wants to rest at any time that he can. That's fine. There are a lot of people that don't want to wash. A lot of people don't like washing. So if you did a survey of thousands of people, you see a lot of people that will be like, we don't like washing, we would like a laundry service to help us wash. Now his background, you can see his frustrations and you can see his motivation. His motivation is paying money to get chores done relieves him of stress, accountability, and knowing his clothes will always be clean makes him happy. That is fine. Um, my clothes always smelling like my perfume. They make me happy. Die. They give me joy. My clothes being smooth, clean, and iron and smelling like sweet perfume. They give me joy. Cause anyway, I just wear my clothes. Anyway, I feel like you smell, and I'm like, thank you. You know, that's it. That's it. And for people that this is a research that was done for Unilag students. Now, if you go into Unilag hostel and you spray clothes on the line, your clothes might not even come back smelling the same. Only God knows what they use your clothes to do. Do you get? So now this is an example of a more comprehensive user persona. You're talking about every aspect of the person's background frustrations, the person's goals, about the person, his needs, and his motivation. There's even more information you could add if your research is even wider and broader. That's the whole idea of user persona. And yes, that's the whole idea of user persona. Coin Solar, I hope you understand everything I said. All right, Coin Solar, thank you very much. So we're going on to empathy mapping. Now, I created something for you guys to work on. Please, please, please. If you haven't started thinking of something you would like to build, I really want to appreciate Jackie. She I think it's Consola. She designed something after the class on Monday and sent it to me, and I looked at it and I gave her my comment. She did really well. She's growing. I want you to think about the things you would like to build, the solutions you like to solve, because there's no better way to start right now. It's better to start when you have somebody to like guide you and help you and give you insights and ideas than trying to do it all alone. After doing my first two case studies or third one, I stopped working in them because it was a lot of work. So I started working in groups with people. So if you find groups of people to work with, that's fine. It helps you develop your growth process faster. So far, you put in the hard work. So I have this for you guys. If you enter Figma, you could edit anything you want to edit. Let's make a persona for a food delivery application. Now, this is for you guys to do. Please do it. It's important. You can change the name, you can change the picture of the person there, it doesn't matter. Just put the text under about the person's goals. Now, think of a large number of people. You don't have to do research now, you're just thinking. Now, when you're doing your research for something that you've made up your mind to build, you can come and take this template and go and reuse it somewhere. No problem. Think about the person, who the person is about. Now, it's a food delivery application. Who are your target users? Is there a particular age range? Are there people you're targeting, maybe students? Are there people you're targeting, maybe rich kids or rich adults? Just think about it. Write about their background. What goals you think the person wants to achieve, their frustrations, what they need from a food delivery application, and what is motivating them to be ordering food. Think about everything and fill it in here. I would love to see you guys assignments, solutions this week or next week. I'm not going to be putting crazy deadlines on you guys, so please do it so that I could make comments and help you grow. It's very important. Now, empathy mapping is a technique used to understand and empathize with a user. That's just the whole idea of empathy mapping. You're just going to be monitoring and understanding the user better. There are different ways to create an empathy map, but the most accepted way or the most certain way to do it involves a number of steps. You have to define your user. As I said, you have to first create your user persona. This is your user persona for Lashope or Louis James. You've created a user persona and now you're trying to create an empathy map of what the person is like. Now there are 4 sections to an empathy map. What the person is saying, what's coming out of their mouth, what the person is thinking, what is in their head, what the person is feeling, how they feel emotionally, their frustrations, their fears, the things that make them happy, and what the person does. Because we all say action is louder than words. What action or behavior does the person exhibit? Just take note of everything the person is doing and take it into account. That's how you build your empathy map. Now, 3, you fill in your map with everything that you just saw, what the person is thinking, what the person is doing, saying, and feeling. Then you check for group activity. Empathy maps can be created collaboratively with a team. Each member can contribute insights to different sections based on their expertise. So now, as a team of people trying to build an application, it will be very healthy for different people to pitch in different ideas for an empathy map for a user persona that they built. What the person is thinking and the person is doing. This will help you build your solution. And it helps you to gain empathy. It helps you to gain deep understanding of what the user is thinking and what the user is going through. And this can guide your decision making process throughout your design phase. That's how you build empathy maps. So now this is what an empathy map should look like. Now, we already told ourselves what Folashope is here. Now we're going to come down to what does Folashope see? I need to get my clothes washed. I want my clothes back properly kept, and he has expensive clothes. These are the multiple things that Folashope said. Are you guys with me? So we have 10 minutes to the end of this class. Those are the things Folashope said. Now, what is he thinking? How much will it cost for him to, use this laundry application? Hope they won't destroy my clothes. But I'm a very busy person. How does he feel? He's scared that they could destroy his clothes. He's also very uneasy when his clothes just keep piling up at home. And when expensive clothes just stay too long, they begin to spoil. So he's a bit scared. So what does he do? He takes his phone, he makes a laundry order, and he orders that they come pick it up for them to wash eventually. So that's how you create your empathy map. What the person is saying, what the person is thinking, how the person should feel, and what he does. That's an empathy map. Here's another example of an empathy map for let's say the education application. You can go through it. So now, both user personas and empathy maps help designers and teams create products and services, and they resonate with users on a human level. They serve as constant reminders of who the users are and what they need, ensuring that the design process remains user-centered and empathetic. The whole idea of the user personas and empathy map and user research, everything is to make sure that your user is at the center of everything you're doing. The second section of the class is analyzing user behaviors and needs. So I'm not going to talk too much on this. I would advise you guys to come and read up on it because I put a lot of information on it so that you can just go through. Yeah, but I'm just going to give you just quick dive down of analyzing user behavior and needs. So analyzing your user behavior is a critical aspect of UX design, and it provides valuable insights that guide the creation of your user-centered products and services. Basically, analyzing how they behave and what they need is going to guide your whole design thinking process. Now, there are steps on how you analyze user behaviors. One is to collect the data. Now you're going to segment users to build your personas. You're going to identify pattern among the users. You're going to define the user journeys, how the person is going to take from point A all the way to point Z to solve their problems. You're going to analyze the pain points that they have in solving their problems, and you're going to analyze their gain points, the places where you saw that they were happy in trying to solve their problems. You're going to try to understand what motivates them to do things the way they do and how they do it, and what motivates them to solve their problem. And how is it motivating in helping them solve their problem and achieving their task? It helps you iterate and test. Basically, when you iterate and test a particular product, you get more insights on what you're doing wrong or what you're doing right. There are multiple types of testing. You can see A/B testing here, testing version A and testing version B, iterating and testing. And then there's a feedback loop. This involves um you keep doing the same thing again, you keep iterating and testing, and you keep using the feedback that you get to make your application better, because you've been analyzing the user behaviors and the problems that they have and the solutions that they want to get and how they are behaving towards your particular solution, and you stay updated on current trends and everything about your application. You make sure that your application stays updated, it keeps growing as the required solutions and problems of people keeps growing. That's the whole idea of UI/UX. Now remember that analyzing user behaviors and needs is an iterative process. It requires a combination of data analysis, empathy, creativity to design solutions that truly resonate with users and provide meaningful experience. Always remember that you're building for your user. It's always about the user. I know I've said it like a million times already, but I'm going to say it again. It's an iterative process that you're putting the users at the center. It requires combination of different things: empathy, mapping, personas, information architecture, but then put everything together. It will resonate and it will give you a meaningful experience. Thank you guys. See you next week. Just in case, we have a couple of minutes left in class, so whatever questions that you have, you can type it in the chat box and I would answer you in the next 6 minutes. Any question, guys? Okay, so if you check, you can actually get my email from Slack though. But this is my email. I'm sending it to the group chat, so you could just to the text, so you could just copy my email here and save it somewhere. That's my email in the chat box. Yes, Rebecca. Um, quick. When you watch the video, actually, you have a whole week. Don't worry. I'm not going to be stressing you on assignments, stuff like that. So this is it. Let's make a user persona for a full delivery application. You know, you can start with this. Yeah, so I did give an assignment. I would love to see you guys' assignment. Any other thing, guys? Is there a way that I could send you the slides? Okay, all right. Below, yes, there is a way, but I already like put it on Figma so you could have access to everything at once. I don't want to have to be sending multiple files, but if you do want the files, I could download them and send them to you personally. But I put it there so that you can have access to all the information in one place, not having to open multiple PDFs and all that. Since you're going to still learn Figma, how about you use that process to get on Figma and start to do things immediately directly from the page. So I send the Figma link to the group. I'll probably send it again after this class, so that you could have direct contact with it. All right then. So any other question, guys? Any other question? All right. In the absence of any question, it was nice having to teach you guys today. Have a lovely week and a lovely weekend. Thank you guys. Bye.